So today we will continue from yesterday's lecture. Yesterday we were doing subsidiary books. We had a small concept on subsidiary books, and we spoke about the two cash book, single column and double column. We'll move forward now to petty cash book. So petty cash book is before we talk about petty cash book, let's understand day-to-day accounting. So like on a day-to-day basis, for running a business, certain expenses need to be incurred, which is small amounts, and there needs to be real physical cash available in the office or in the establishment where the business is running. So typically there will be an accountant and the accountant will have a small amount of petty cash depending on the size of the business. It could be anywhere from 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 rupees. And this is used for day-to-day routine expenses. These are typically certain types of expenses like conveyance, traveling, traveling, stationery, postage, right? Refreshments, so reimbursements to staff. So these are the typical kind of day-to-day expenses, and a separate amount of cash is removed and kept outside of the main cash box for these, and that is called petty cash. And there is a particular accountant or a cashier who is responsible for the physical custody and management of petty cash. Now, within the petty cash, there are two types of petty cash books formats, right? Per se, it is the same from an accounting point of view, but from a formatting point of view, these are two separate formats. One is the simple petty cash book, and the second one is the analytical multi-column petty cash book. If you look at the simple petty cash book, it has only these three columns: the date, the details, and the amount. So, sorry, this is the question. It will have one more column for the ledger folio. Once we go scroll down, you will find. So, yeah. So, ignore the first column for a minute. Look at the second column onwards. So, you have date, particulars, voucher number, ledger folio, and total amount. That's the format. Ignore the first column still. I will talk about it in a moment. So what are we talking about? These are all the expenses that we are incurring. As I mentioned, voucher number column will never be blank because actually the it's a book of original entry and the entry is made from the vouchers. The voucher is, we had seen the format in the last lecture. So this will typically in a real world environment not be blank. The moment you make a petty cash book, this is filled up. So this is like the right hand side. This is per se the debit side if you were to look at it, because these are all the sorry, this is the credit. If you look at a cash book, this is the credit side, so it is on the right hand side, and on the left side this is the amount received, which means that from the main cash box some amount was transferred to the petty cash box, if you have a box, if you like to look at it that way, right? So that is incoming money, uh, and this is outgoing money. This is different from the main cash box. It is another small in a drawer or even in a box. The money is being kept. So look at it that way. Visualize it in your mind that this is a real box with real money or a real drawer with real money. Okay. So whenever money is put inside the box, the from the main cash, or when it is withdrawn from the bank, then that will appear here on the left hand side. If you see, there is this small entry, 60 rupees to sale of old newspapers. So that's again a petty cash item which you receive the money. So that's how it is coming on the left hand side. Otherwise, now this is fairly easy and intuitive. If you were to, we'll go over the solved example, right? Get to the right page. So received from head cashier. So like I said that the junior cashier or the petty cashier or the junior accountant will maintain petty cash. The senior accountant or the head cashier will have the responsibility for the main cash box. So he will, on the first day of every month or at a predetermined frequency or when the cash balance falls below a particular level, he will give an X amount of money to the petty cashier. So, 1st Jan 2019 received from head cashier 1,200. So, this will come on the left hand side of the petty cash book. Right. Now, these are all expenses. Paid telephone charges 193, paid for mobile charges 57, purchased office files 125. So when these are posted into the petty cash book, you want to you see the exact words are not put from the question, right? These words are slightly different. By mobile charges, by office file account, or you could say by stationery, right? Because you club all this by tip to Pune. Actually, this is not how it should be recorded. It will be miscellaneous expenses. Gave tip to Pune 40, that will be miscellaneous expenses or staff welfare. Sale of newspaper, you have to remember this will come not on the right hand side but on the left hand side, because this is money received. Money received in the petty cash book comes in the first column on the left, and money going out will come on the right hand side. Paid packaging charges. So if you see here, there two packaging charges. Paid for advertisement, so you say two advertisement. Paid for cleaning charges, two cleaning charges, right? So to donate, buy donations. Now technically, yeah, donations is fine. Okay. Then gave donations, purchase revenue stamp. So that is postage and stationery. So buy revenue stamps 60. So total expenses, you add all this up on the last day of the month, 1026.
Sir,
Yes.
your voice is coming like very low. I'm not able to hear you.
Is it better now?
No, sir.
Is the voice better now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So on the last day of the month, you will total the right hand side. And since this is real cash, this amount will always be smaller. The right hand side, this amount before, that is the total expenses, will always be smaller than the total cash received, right? Because you cannot have negative cash balance. So the closing balance, so buy balance carried forward, and first day of the next month, to balance brought forward. So that is fairly simple. You have to remember the format, and basis this format, you can go ahead and do the entries. Next is the analytical petty cash book, or it is also called the multi-column petty cash book. Why? Because for each type of expense, there is one column. The problem with this simple format petty cash book is that you have to actually go over all these transactions again. If you have the same type of transaction 5 times in the month, this will come 5 times. There will be 5 different rows for it, correct? And if you want to know that totally packaging charges, let's say in the whole month, every day you are paying packaging charges. So there will be about 25 entries for all the days of the month, right? Except Sunday. So, if you want to know how much is the total packaging charges of the month, you can't come to know in by looking at it in 1 second. You have to add up all those rows, and if it is all mixed up in the middle of so many other types of expenses, you can make an error in looking at it and adding it up. So this is format was obviously made for paper based books. Now when you do everything in a computer, it's fairly easy to use formulas, but nonetheless this is part of the syllabus. You have to learn the whole concept of multi-column petty cash book. So what we are saying is we will make a column for every type of expense. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. So what are they saying? The format per se remains the same. The first column is amount received. Okay. This is the folio number, which is there. Then the date, the particulars, voucher number, this is the total amount, and this is the respective type of expense. Okay, so if let us say postage, or you are spending postage 5 times in the month, so you will write down postage 25 rupees, 25 rupees. Let's say again there is postage on this date here. So again here you will say postage 40 rupees, 40 rupees. So then you can add up this column, and this amount over here tells you in the entire month how much did you expense do you incur in postage, and this amount you will post in the main cash book. Okay, in the ledger, sorry, you will post this main amount in the ledger for these respective ledgers: post printing and stationery, postage, carriage, traveling expenses. So like this, you will make about 8 columns, 8 to 10 columns. There is no hard and fast rule that it has to be 5 columns or 8 columns or 10 columns or 12 columns. It is the, for every respective business, what is the most commonly incurred petty cash expense items, right? So those will appear for the respective business. It will be different. The second last column is the ledger folio, and then the last is ledger account, which means if you are incurring a petty cash expense which does not fall in these 6, 7 categories, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 are there for which you will be able to get the total for the whole month like this. Now, when you put something expense which is not falling in these 6 categories, it is a 7th or an 8th type of expense. You can't go on making new columns endlessly, right? So you will then put that in ledger account. Ledger account means whatever you put over here name, that ledger account. For these, it becomes this ledger account, which is mentioned over here in this column. Okay. So now we'll take a solved example. So Mr. Saurabh, the petty cashier of Rajay Mobile Company, received 8,000 on June 1 from the head cashier. Okay. So this is very simple. Left hand side, the first column, to buy cash received from head cashier, and then these are all the expenses which have started. So let us try to take a look at this now. So this is a little messy because the format is here. So first entry is to cash, which is on 1st June, and 8,000. This is the left hand side. Now on the right hand side, you will come. So first is this total paid amount. So you can straight away first put over here. But when you put the amount here, you have to also correspondingly put it in one more column. So what are the columns of which have been created in this example? Courier postage charges. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the month the courier or postage charges have been paid by the business, right? So, and these 5 times in the month, it adds up to 750 rupees. Telephone expenses has been incurred only once. Traveling and conveyance, which is a very common type of expense, it has also been incurred 5 times in the month, right? Then printing and stationery 3 times in the month, and there is nothing in this column. Why? Because all the expenses were within these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. They've included this miscellaneous expenses per se, so that really includes a lot of miscellaneous things, and that's why ledger column is blank. Otherwise, typically something like buy refreshments in a practical environment, which is showing here in miscellaneous, it will come in staff welfare account. Mobile charges again should come in telecommunication charges in separate column. Refreshments is a repeat of this one. So these may go in actually in ledger column, but that's how your syllabus shows it. Now we'll go back to the previous page, look at the rest of the questions. Sorry. So courier expenses. So yeah, you can intuitively now you know that you have created certain columns. So courier and postage, right? This will both go in the same column, 60 and 210 on these respective dates. Auto fare and all is traveling and conveyance. So traveling and conveyance column will have auto fare, it will have taxi fare, right? It will have auto fare, it will have bus fare. So this is basically your ability to be able to merge expenses of a similar type under one account. And you have one column for that one account. And every expense for any date pertaining to that uh, account, that heading will all get posted in that column, okay, for that respective date. So, mobile charges, like according to me, this will come in telecommunication charges, which is your internet bill, your mobile bill, your telephone bill, everything comes in the same heading. So in accounts, you have to make groups, so you will group even similar types of accounts later on. But this is at a within the account level. Okay, cartridge. So cartridge means this is printing and stationery, what we call commonly. So printing and stationery, computer stationery. So this is again stationery, printing and stationery. So files purchased, according to me, again, this is printing and stationery. Now this is obviously a little bit you have to know what your syllabus expects from you. Photocopying charges, again, I call this printing and stationery, right? So we'll see these unloading charges. So this is labor. Now unloading charges will go in wages. Unloading charges, it typically gets capitalized also into the cost of the purchases. So it's, let's see what are they showing in your syllabus. Unloading charges, they've left it like that and they've put it in miscellaneous. So yeah, that is, if you don't know the answer very clearly of something, you can either put it in ledger or you can put it in miscellaneous. But when something repeats many times, generally you don't put it in miscellaneous. So like refreshments is coming once, twice. So normally you wouldn't put it in miscellaneous, but no hard and fast rule. So you see a photostating, photocopying, Xerox charges, they put it in telephone expenses. This is wrong. Some printing mistake in the textbook. Uh, let's just go to the back page, 23rd. 23rd is photocopying charges paid, Xerox charges. So this is not telephone charges, 270. This is mobile charges on 19th, 270. Okay, so 270 is the same amount. This is photocopying charges. This is on 23rd. For those who can't see it, 23rd is photocopying charges 270 and 19th mobile charges 270. So actually what they've given here in the solved example is a little bit of a printing error. This 270 is 19th. Okay, mobile charges 19th. This 270 should be up here. And this miscellaneous expenses will go down here as photocopying charges. I would have made a column for printing and stationery. Okay, because when I'm here, this is printing and stationery, right? Here it is there. So 270 photocopying charges, I would not put in miscellaneous, I would put here in printing and stationery. So, this is just about putting it in the right column and having some knowledge as to how do you merge the English language used in the question into a particular account. Now, that is something you should be able to use your own logic to assess and decide. Let's move on to the next example. Uh, there's probably not much need to do more and more solved examples in the books of Rajay Mobile. From the analytical period, pass journal entries and prepare. Okay. So yeah, now this is an important extension to the analytical column cash book format, petty cash book. So you have incurred in this month courier charges 700 rupees, 750 rupees, right? That is visible here. 750 rupees is courier charges. Telephone charges, as per this error though, 270. Traveling and conveyance 1345. So at the end of the month, this petty cash book amounts are transferred to the main cash book. Okay. So remember these amounts: 750, 250, 270. Okay. So 750, 250, right? 13452220 and this. So this is expenses, debit all expenses and credit what goes out, which is cash. So you will only pass two main journal entries, okay, at the end of the month. If you were doing the standard journal entry format, then you would have done, you know, so many journal entries, right? For each one of this, you would need to pass one journal entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, this goes on. Almost around 22, 25 entries you would have needed to pass. Now, instead of passing so many entries, because you created this format of analytical column petty cash book, you will pass only two journal entries. One is the cash came in, and second is the end of the month, the expenses. So this is a very practical solution to accounting, and accounts is a very practical subject. It's not theoretical. This formats of these petty cash book and all the other kinds of ledgers and trial balance and everything, it's all very, very practical. So this is how the whole sum gets completed. The question gets completed when you are passing these two journal entries, cash received into the petty cash box. So that is petty cash debit, and the main cash box, cash went out. So it's a real account, credit cash there. These are all the expenses, nominal account, debit all expenses. You have these ready-made amounts. You are not passing those 5 entries separately for traveling and conveyance, those 6 entries separately for miscellaneous expenses. It's all merged and only one entry is passed on the last day of the month. Now we'll petty cash account, ledger accounts in the books of Rajay Latu, petty cash account. So this is ledger. Let's not look at ledger right now. It's not, I have not yet taught you ledger. So we will just skip all of these pages. No need to look at it and get confused. Illustration 2, we will go over this very quickly, right? So analytical column petty cash book they want. So left hand side first column is cash inward, and then the narration and ledger folio voucher number, and then respective columns, right? So cash balance. So buy balance brought forward, to balance brought forward. Then next is cash received from head cashier. So you will pass that entry. Cash received to balance brought forward to cash account, right? And then the rest is all going to be buy. Buy means these are all the expenses, right? That is the right hand side. It is the credit side. The left hand side is the debit side, which will always be to. The right hand side will be buy. So cash balance, cash received from now gave gift to clerk Omkar. So first column will be gift. So 251. Next column will be uh, courier, postage and courier, right? So you will have 240 there. Sold old newspaper. This is incoming cash, right? So it will come in the left hand side column. Washing charges paid to Pune. So now, these are decisions you have to make. Want to make a separate column for it, or you want to club certain things into. Okay. So you see postage, printing and stationery, and they've put two things in ledger. Okay. By chair. Yeah, so these are not expenses. By chair. So if you buy a chair, that is not exactly an expense. It's a fixed asset that will go in the balance sheet. It will not go in the P&L. So if you're not very sure, make one new column for everything over there, right? But two things which are similar, obviously, like printing and stationery, that will get merged in the same column. So washing charges, lunch, bill to salesman. So this actually is what we call a staff welfare. Gave advance to Pune. So this will come in the ledger column. Okay, this will not come in the petty cash. Petty cash is the day-to-day expenses of the business. When you gave a loan to the peon Arjun, that is not an expense item, it is a loan. So that is why it comes in the right-hand side column, which is a ledger. Anything which is not an expense will come in that ledger column. Okay, all of the other expense items, you will have a column, and if they don't have a special column, then you can put it in miscellaneous. But if it is not, and the same way, that is why where there was that purchase of the chair, the chair is again not an expense because the chair will be used for many years. So that is a real asset. Chair is a real account, and real accounts are not expenses, nominal accounts. So that's the other thing you need to understand in case of a multi-column petty cash book, that when it is a nominal account, those are the columns that you will make for a petty cash book. And when it is a personal account or it is a real account, those will go in the last column, which is called ledger. Okay, so that is one thing you need to remember. So distinguishing by reading this is what you need to know. Gave advance to peon Arjun is not giving salary, you have given him a loan. So it is a personal account and it will come in ledger. And purchased chair for office use, it is not an expense. Chair is a real account, it is used for multiple years. You will do depreciation on the chair eventually, and that depreciation will go in the P&L account, but chair you'll have it in the right hand column ledger. So all of these you'll have one column which is repeating, you will repeat that in the column. Right, you have the solved solution here. Sorry. So here you go, then you add up, you add this all up, and you have the balance carried forward 289, and 289 is the balance carried forward. 2311 is the to cash. So cash, they must have given in the example that fresh cash was given on the first day of the next month. Must have been given in the question. Here it is. 38 sure. No, the question is gone. No, the question is here. Well, it's not mentioned anywhere. I don't understand why I'm saying received cash from head cashier 2165. That is all we have. So why have they put this 2165? We know 2311. I don't understand where did this come from. Ignore it. There is no need to. Okay, so then now this is the third example. We'll not go over it in entirety, right? Opening petty cash. So left hand side, check received from chief cashier 1850. I heard you said something. I couldn't make out what you said. Can you repeat yourself?
No, sir. I didn't say anything.
Okay, no problem. So very quickly, check received from cashier. So left hand side to bank it will come, because it would be a bearer check, but so you will get that cash. You go to the bank and draw it. Carriage will have a special column. Cleaning and washing charges, special column. Telephone, special column. Donation, special column. Newspaper charges, special column. Postage, special column. Refreshment, special column. Auto charges, special column. Wages, special column. Repairs, special column. Paid to Krishna. Krishna means personal account. Personal account means on the extreme right, last column, ledger. This is not a nominal account. It is not an expense of the business. So you will put this in ledger column and not in, as a special column. Okay. Let's move on. Look at the answer. So if you see here, ledger column, right, it has got 500 here by Krishna. So because that is a personal account, you will not put it there. So same way, this is the total of this column here, 2000, 2000. So by cash carried forward, 72, 72. Okay, so I'll just also quickly explain why is this 1928 come over here by two banks. So this is called as an impressed system of cash. What does the imprest system of cash do? It says is that on the first of the month, you should have the petty cash should have a X amount of money. In this example, it is 2,000 rupees. What is being decided by the business that normally 2,000 rupees is enough for running an entire month on day-to-day expenses. So how much ever cash is there, you give the cashier extra amount so that it adds up to 2,000. On the first of the month, if he has got 100 rupees, you give him 1,900 more. If he has got 500 rupees, you give him 1,500 more. So every month on the first, you are bringing his balance to 2,000. So if he has already got 72 from last month remaining, you will give him 1,928. Okay. So that is called an impressed system. You will impress the balance back to the decided amount. The decided amount in this example is 2,000. So if you see the 1st of August also what happened, 150 balance came from the previous month. So then he got 1,850. So that on the 1st of the month, his balance becomes 2,000 before he incurs any expenses. You understood that? That's fairly easy. So every month, whatever is the closing balance, that becomes next month's opening. And so let's say next month we had 150 rupees balance at the end of September. So that means he will get 1,850 again, right? This is 1,850. So the first of the month, cash will be replaced back to the original amount, which has been decided as the impressed amount. Okay. And that impressed amount will be mentioned in your question. That this is the amount of impressed, which you can also infer by looking at the solution, by looking at the first of the month where you started, right? So if we are looking at one of the solved example, the previous one where I said I wasn't able to understand where did that amount come from. Yeah. So 2,600, if you look at this in the last month, this was added up. Actually, this should be 2,500. They have made an error. This is a newspaper sale. I don't know now what does your syllabus expect you, but in my mind, the idea is to bring the balance back to 2,500. So in this case, the petty cash impressed amount is supposed to be 2,500 on the first of every month. So when I would have, in this case, I would have transferred 2,211 and not 2,311. If I was correcting the question and I got this answer, I would give it wrong. Because if you see this, this adds up to 2,500. So this also first day of August, the cashier should have 2,500 with him, not 2,600. Okay. Yeah, you need to be a little good in math, right? You should be able to look at these numbers and make out that this is 2,600 adding up. This is adding up to 2,500. Okay, the question doesn't mention anything. We're somewhere assuming that cash received from head cashier. They're not saying impressed cash received. If they use the word impressed cash received, we will assume that the impressed amount, this plus this adds up. Okay, so that's about petty cash. We're done with today's lecture. Next lecture, we will go ahead with the remaining subsidiary books. So that's it for now. We have a series of lectures which are on basics of accounting, by and large concept lectures, which are 10 minutes. And then there are solved examples like this one today. You're welcome to come and watch these lectures. Thank you.